Okay, we're going to do one more lesson with arc length. And actually, this is the problems that are on the exam, story problems. So they want you to find arc length from a story problem. Okay. Now again, I think most of us understand what a Ferris wheel is, the big wheel thing that you sit in a little car and it carries you and another person around. Okay. So obviously a Ferris wheel is round. It has a radius of 65 feet. Okay. So if you think, we know it's circular. Okay. And then the radius out is 65 feet. And then what they're saying is kind of between two cars is 150 degrees. So there's a car kind of here. Let's say there's a car, and then there's another car here. Okay, obviously there's other cars in between, but they're saying, okay, what's the arc length separating those two cars? Now what's nice, guys, really, we've already done this math. You just have to think about what the numbers stand for. So the 150 degrees is our angle times pi over 180. Okay, so again, this is stuff we've already done. So 150 over 1 times pi over 180. Again, this one's nice. We can cross off the zeros. 15 and 18 can both be divided by 3. Okay, 15 divided by 3 is 5 pi. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, now, so 5 pi over 6 is our radians after we converted 150 degrees. And then remember, our radius up here is 65 feet. So times 65 feet. Okay. So again, we've been doing this last couple videos, so this should be kind of easy. So now 5 times 3.14 divided by 6 times 65 feet. Now again, this is going to be a long, this is a long distance, I'm sure. Okay, and if you look on your calculator, 170.08. Okay, there's more numbers, but that's all that we need to go. Now guys, remember, you underline the 0 because that's an 8. Remember, that's going to round up to 0.1. And again, that was feet. So 170, that's 100, in between those two cars would be 170.1 feet. Okay, so that's what we were able to find, okay, using that picture, okay? Okay, let's try another one here. Okay, so if you think about the clock like in my classroom, okay, so obviously these are clocks that have hands. Okay, there's two different hands, and if you think about that, depending on what time it is, the angle changes when those hands are spinning around. Okay, so a clock has hands of radius of 15 centimeters. So depending at this time of the day, the hands are separated by an angle of 240 degrees. So what's the length of the arc separating them? Okay, so very similar story. So again, here's a clock. Okay, let's say that like one hand is up here. Okay, and then another hand is down here. And this is what they're saying. They're saying that's 240 degrees. Okay, 240 degrees. And then the radius is like 15 centimeters. Okay, now again, this is stuff we've already done now that we have it set up. So we're saying 240 over 1 times pi over 180. Okay, again, I'm giving you ones that aren't that hard because they got the 0, cross off the 0. Now 24 and 18. What's the biggest thing goes in 24 and 18? Now, again, you got to make sure if you pick up the biggest thing, it makes it go faster. So actually 6. So if you pick 3 or 2, you would have to do it twice. But actually 6 is the biggest thing. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. So 4 pi, 18 divided by 6 is 3. So 4 pi over 3 times our 15 centimeters. Okay, so again, we can type this into calculator. 4 times 3.14 divided by 3 times 15. Boom. This doesn't even have to be rounded. 62.8. No, it doesn't even have to be rounded. Okay? And that's our answer. So again, the distance between those two hands of the clock, okay, would be separated by 62.8 centimeters. An arc, that arc would be 200 or 62.8 centimeters. Yep. Okay. Now, I wrote this out. This is a story problem. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to kind of take a look here. Okay, I'll step back. Okay. Obviously, you can pause it and read it out. Okay, but it's a similar kind of story. Okay, you know what a merry-go-round is, like at a playground. It's something round, and it has different bars on it. So if the bars are 6 feet long from the center, and between each bar it's 70 degrees, what's the length of the arc separating each of those bars? Okay, so very similar story to the other ones. Okay, there you go. Okay, good job. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye.